Hey, Marcus, Will Liebner here. We've talked a lot on this call, and then I think it's well documented that there are a lot of priorities and needs in the city. But you would be a rarity on the council because you actually have a lot of private sector business experience, which not a lot of council members do, frankly. And I think that shows through in the legislation that they sometimes enact. Using that experience, I think in order to fund a lot of the needs and priorities and initiatives that are required in the city right now, we need to grow our tax base to restore the reserves that we've just dipped into to make up for all the COVID losses, and also to bring ourselves as a city out of the pandemic and to fund all these programs. How do we do that? Like on the council, what can you do to help make that argument?
Thank you for the question, Will. I really appreciate it. Having a strong, robust economy in the district and a budget that's balanced is critically important. I think Toby may know better than anyone else on the call that in the mid-90s, the district was under a federal control board, meaning that all decisions about our budget was made by a federally appointed panel that gave us and granted us the ability to balance our priorities, meaning that the decisions weren't made locally. We don't want to go back to a control board era. And certainly if we have a budget that isn't balanced, the federal government reserves the right to take back our budgetary ability. That means that we need to support our small local business owners. We need to support our local economy. No one on the council, frankly, has had an experience in the private sector. Only a few people have ever even held a job in the private sector for a period of time. So I do agree that it's critically important for us to start to get different perspectives that understand what it means to be a small business owner, what it means to create housing, what it means to manage a large budget worth hundreds of millions of dollars, to value engineer a budget that's hundreds of millions of dollars, to ensure that your priorities and your goals are aligned with what your economic realities are. And our economic reality now in the district is that COVID-19 has had a disastrous public health impact, but also a disastrous economic impact. So with all of our might and all of our resources, we need to help support our local entrepreneurs because they pay taxes, they hire people, they support families, they support communities, they create vibrance in our city, and they create the real character of what DC is. I'm someone who will focus intensely on that, and I would dare say more so than anyone else on the council, and would like to apply my experience in the private sector, working with the bureaucracy in the district to ensure that we're balancing everyone's priorities and keeping a healthy business and budget economy in the district. So thanks for the question. I definitely think that these are voices that we need more of at the table.
Yep, I agree.
Awesome.